What's up guys, Handy Design, and I'm gonna be showing y'all how y'all can make this shy graphic right here, something like it. So yeah, let's get into it. Alright, so first thing I did, I started off with just painting black on our background right here. And next we added this sky, just this image I found. And all we did was press Ctrl J and we erased some of it so it blends in. So we just go on our mask, click brush, make sure it's black, and we can just erase our mask up here, you see. Alright, next we added some highlights right here, just with a white brush and a low flow up here. We can just paint in some highlights, as you can see. Next, we drag in our picture of our moon and we cut it out and we set it to screen right here. And we go once again go on our mask, on our black, and we can just erase sort of the outside so it looks like it's blended in with that cloud. Then we add on our hue and saturation, clipping mask it to the moon, and we're going to change this to blue and mess with the saturation and stuff so it looks like it's glowing more. We just paint on top softly, and then we just take a light blue and we paint over the top just like this with our low flow again. Next, we found this picture of a volcano, which looks like it would be pretty decent for a background. I like the smoke back here, so we just put this in here. Next thing we did was we just cut out the floor of the volcano. I actually have a video on this, my last video, but you basically just cut out the floor like this. You press Ctrl J and then you drag the perspective outwards so it makes it a little bit more flat. So yeah, if y'all are interested in that, go check out that video. Next thing we did, we color balanced our floor so it matches with the sky. And then we added in some highlights over here for this moon to be hitting. And then we desaturated it. The next thing we did was we added these little makeshift puddles in here. So y'all can see in the next image we have this one. But first I'll just show you this. We added these makeshift puddles in here that look like they're sort of lava or whatever. And just puddles coming out of the ground. And how we did that was we just took our brush on a little bit of a higher hardness. You can see we have this color fill right here just by going right here and clicking solid color, and we just put on this orange, and then we just sort of colored in with this white. We can just color in this orange right here. So yeah, and we have it on linear dodge add. Next we add in this lightning. This is not supposed to be right here, but we added in lightning back here, and we'll get onto this picture. So for this picture, you can see it blends in pretty well with our other background, and it's just this mossy, swampy looking thing, but we're going to change it into these orange puddles right here. I'll show you how I did that. So we desaturated it entirely. Then the next thing we do is we grab an exposure layer. What we're going to do is we're going to drag down the exposure to where we see it blends in with the background. Okay, so about right there, that would be pretty good. About -457. Then we take our same color fill from before, and we're gonna make all these puddles, right? So I put my brush on a little bit more hardness when I do the inside of these puddles. So what I'm doing right here, I'm gonna make it a little bit harder, and then after I'm done with all of them, I'll put my flow on lower, and then I can just tap above like this just to make it more glowy like that. Alright, so next thing we did is we put a hue and saturation. You can see our settings right here. We put it on colorized and we clipping masked it, and we put all these blue highlights on the ground for the moon to be hitting. So we just took our brush and we made it about like this right here, and you can just color on with our low flow brush is a secret sauce, guys. You're just gonna color on just like this. Okay, and then what we did was we took a lower flow with our white brush and we painted on reds because the outside of the glow needs to be a little bit darker, I felt like. Then we took a lighter brush and hit the insides a little bit more just to make those things pop. And then we made this right here darker because we're about to add our subject in 1 second. But we had this fog right here just by low opacity again, gray brush, and we can just paint in just like this, and it creates that fog. Alright, here we add in our player. I'll take you all inside the camera raw real quick that we used. Okay. So that's our basic contrast 30, highlights 53, shadows 45, whites minus 100, 50, 41, 12. Our detail. Oh. Our detail right here. 32, 15, color mixer. The color mixer sort of just brings out the skin a little bit. We didn't do much to it, but yeah, just a little bit. Alright, the first thing we do, as you can see, we sort of go on all the insides. Oh my god. Okay, the insides of him, right? And we just paint it on very softly. Just a little bit of darkness. Very softly. Okay. Next with the curves, that's what we'll do. We'll do the same thing, but we're more focused on the more exaggerated shadows already. So that's what we're going to do next. You can see we have the fill on 23. Brightness and contrast. We're going to make basically the entire thing, except for these outside highlights, darker. Just a little bit, And then basically we just control J this layer, just because we thought I needed more. But next, we have this brightness contrast. We turn it up to 37. And you go on this layer mask right here, and you take your brush, right, on a low flow, and you just paint on the outsides of all this. Just like that. And it will sort of make that brightness look on the outside. This is the beginning of the glow. And then we are going to go to our dodge and burn. So for your dodge and burn, you want to create a new layer, click over here, and then in this B type in 50. Put your flow all the way up, and then you just paint in, and then you press overlay. Then you go over here to this burn tool, and this burn you use to color in these shadows, and then this dodge you use mainly on the eyes and the cheeks and stuff like that, and the outsides to do the highlights, right? So I think that makes a really big difference in the player treatment. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to add these little bits of highlights here and there. So you can see we don't just trace the outside of him, because that sort of just, that's not the way to go really. Of course you do want to have it on the outside, but not on the outside. You can see we sort of follow this up here, we follow this all down here. See all these highlights I've made. Next thing we do is we add another brightness and contrast. And what we're trying to do is make him the same darkness as, say, like this back here, or the shadows on this ground, because, well, that's the scene he's in, and if he's facing away from the lights, then that's what it would be. So we put these all on the inside of him, except for some of his face, because we don't want his face to be too dark. Then basically we take that same layer with an exposure, and we do the same thing, right? Then for this hue and saturation, we matched up the color of the hue to the lava, and same thing with our low flow white brush. We just paint on all his skin. We paint on all these little just everything like this all around, right? And then let me see next. Next we add this blue from the moon. Same story as last time, you know. We added we made it a bit more hazy this time, just by not being so strict on where exactly we put it. We just sort of glowed it out and made our brush bigger. Here we just took a white brush and we just painted on the pupils just a little bit, just give it a little bit of shine. And then here, I don't do this every time, but sometimes it makes for a good effect. What we do is the exact same as this, right? We paint on the glows the exact same way. We just don't clipping mask it, so it has that little bit of glow effect on the outside of him. And we also put all these glows on linear dodge add as well. I didn't say that, but yeah. Next, we do that exact same thing just for the entire outside of him, just with the brightness. So next thing we're gonna do, this lightning needs a little bit of I'll show you how I did that, but this lightning needs a little bit of glow up here, so let me do something real quick. Okay, so if we paint in this image, this is the image we had originally, right? So this lightning, obviously the lightning wasn't there. I'll put it on normal real quick. This is the image it was, right? So we know we just need this part where the lightning's coming out. So that's what we did. We just created our mask and we deleted the parts we didn't need and just left this cloud. And now we're gonna add some hue and saturation and some color balance just to make it more blue. And for this, we just have a white brush on linear dodge add, and we just loosely go around all these bolts, and it just makes it glow a little bit more. Not like that. We're gonna have it on about maybe 9, and we just go around like that, and it just makes it have that glow right there. Next thing we did, we wanted to add all I did was just add a little bit of orange right here to this side. Now, for a big part, in my opinion, to the process, this is a pretty big part right here. So we have this color lookup right here, Lo3 LUT. Hold on. Let me scroll. We have this night filter with this curves. You can see. You can just copy this curves layer. It makes it look like it's night. You know, it's pretty solid. Little curves layer right there. Then selective color. I know we wanted to bring out the reds, so we changed up the reds where they were more dark, sort of more vibrant. And I'm pretty sure that's all we did with the selective color. Alright, now this is it after the camera raw, so pretty big difference. I'll also take y'all through this, and you can see after I have my camera raw, I zoom in my picture and I tilt it so the picture's flowing this way because he's standing this way. So that's what way we're gonna tilt it, so the picture sort of has more flow to it. So let's go on our final camera raw and just show y'all what happened here. Oh. Hold on. Switch our detail. So sharpening 27, noise reduction 12, color mixer. And we don't have much on color mixer at all. But let's go to our split toning right here. Hue 25. So you can see that just sort of make the colors a little bit make it pop a little bit more. Optics, distortion, and vignette, and that just sort of drags it out a little bit. All of these are not necessary, but I sort of just like to mess around with everything and see exactly what I like. So on this, you can look at these settings right here. You can see what I did to sort of make the reds pop, make the blues pop, make it more contrasty looking. And there we go. And then we add, all we do next is just add our little watermark down here. And yeah, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed this. Let me know if y'all learned anything or if y'all want anything more like this. And yeah, I appreciate y'all. See you.